Level 1. The Blind Pawn. The phone rings at 2:13 a.m. It isn't your phone. It is a matte black flip phone, a disposable prepaid model you found inside your locked mailbox 3 days ago. It came with a single, handwritten sticky note attached to the screen. The note said one word: wait. You pick it up. You flip it open. There is no greeting on the other end. A voice, heavily processed through encrypted masking software, delivers a flat sequence of instructions. District 4, Alley 218, a black transit van. Open the rear doors, take the aluminum briefcase, and walk to room 402 of the Grand Hotel. Leave it on the bed. Take the flash drive from the glass desk. Do not open the case. You have exactly 14 minutes. The call terminates. You pull a heavy jacket over your shoulders. Your heart hammers against your ribs, a frantic rhythm echoing in the quiet of your cheap apartment. You know what this is. You know you are crossing a threshold. The safe, suffocatingly boring life you endure for minimum wage officially ends the moment you turn the doorknob. Rain slicks the pavement outside. The alley reeks of damp cardboard and rotting garbage. The black van idles in the deepest shadow of the brickwork. The engine hums. The driver's seat is completely empty. The rear doors are cracked open exactly 2 inches. You reach inside into the dark. Your fingers brush against the freezing ribbed metal of the briefcase. You pull it out. It weighs about 9 pounds. That is heavy enough to hold $400,000 in strapped cash, or 2 disassembled assault rifles, or something far worse. You do not ask questions. You are not paid to be curious. You walk into the hotel lobby. The night concierge doesn't even glance up from his ledger. It is as if your existence has already been scrubbed from the security feeds. You take the stairs. Room 402 is pitch black, smelling faintly of ozone and expensive bleach. You place the case on the mattress. You grab the cold, metallic flash drive resting perfectly parallel to the edge of the glass desk. You leave. The second your boots hit the wet pavement outside the lobby, your personal smartphone vibrates in your pocket. A single text message from an unknown number. Executed. Check wallet. You open the anonymous cryptocurrency application you were instructed to download last week. The balance refreshes. It jumps from 0 to 10,000 USDT. There is no sender name. There is no blockchain trail that connects back to a human being. Your hands shake. It isn't fear. It is a primal, violent surge of adrenaline. You just made 6 months of your miserable salary in under 15 minutes. The system has swallowed you whole, and you opened your mouth for it. Level 2. The Sin Launderer. The scent of cured Cuban tobacco mixes with the rich leather interior of a Mercedes S-Class. You do not run in the rain anymore. You wear a $3,000 bespoke suit. You sit in the back seat, watching the neon city lights bleed across the bulletproof glass. Your cargo is no longer physical. You do not carry briefcases. You carry the lifeblood of the organization. You carry the money. A sleek, unmarked laptop rests on your thighs. The screen glows with a proprietary interface that has no name, no logo, and no public registry. You do not carry a firearm. Your weapons are shell companies registered in the Cayman Islands, blind trusts in Switzerland, and high-end art galleries in Geneva. The organization just finalized a weapons and logistics contract in Eastern Europe. The gross revenue is $2.5 million in raw, untraceable cash. But cash is garbage to the elite. Cash is evidence. Cash is a liability. Your job is to make it clean. You crack your knuckles. You begin to type. You take the first $500,000 and shatter it into 10,000 microtransactions. You route them through a network of online casinos based in Southeast Asia. The algorithms play automated games of blackjack, lose 20%, and cash out the rest as legitimate gambling winnings. You take the remaining $2 million and buy an abstract painting from a private gallery. The gallery is secretly owned by the organization. The painting was painted by a nobody. You wire the money, officially purchasing the artwork. Tomorrow, you will take that exact same painting and use it as collateral at a private wealth bank in London to secure a $1.8 million loan. The dirty money is gone. It has been washed white. It flows into the global financial system, fully taxable, fully legal. No government auditor will ever smell the gunpowder on it. Your offshore account ticks upward. A $50,000 commission clears instantly. You pour yourself a glass of bourbon from the car's minibar. You look out at the pedestrians on the sidewalk. You are beginning to understand the true scale of the world. The law is just a net with massive holes designed entirely to catch stupid, poor fish. The people at the top do not break the law. They write it, they bend it. But beneath the bespoke suit, your chest feels tight. You suffer from chronic insomnia now. You know too many routing numbers. You know too many aliases. You realize you are nothing more than a gold-plated cog in a massive machine. If you jam, the machine will not stop. It will simply crush you and slide a new cog into your place. Level 3. The Dirty Hand. The room is suffocatingly hot. The air conditioning in the abandoned warehouse was cut 3 days ago. For the first time, you are looking at the physical consequences of the numbers you push on your screen. Strapped to a metal folding chair in the center of the concrete floor is a local investigative journalist. He dug too deep. He started tracing the property deeds of a downtown real estate development. The development is a front for the organization's human trafficking revenue. He found the shell companies. He found the names. You do not carry a gun. You carry a standard manila folder. You drag a second chair over and sit exactly 3 feet in front of him. He is panting. His eyes are wide, darting between you and the shadows. He reeks of stale sweat and terror, but there is still a glimmer of foolish defiance in his jaw. He thinks he is a martyr for the truth. He expects you to beat him. He expects a bullet to the back of the head. Killing a journalist creates a martyr. The organization despises noise. You toss the manila folder onto his lap. Open it, you say. Your voice is flat, clinical, devoid of any recognizable human warmth. He uses his trembling, unbound hands to flip open the cover. He expects photos of his wife or his children, the standard cartel leverage. He finds something worse. He finds offshore bank statements in his exact name showing weekly deposits of $50,000 from a known extremist group. He finds transcripts and flawlessly generated AI audio files of his own voice discussing the purchase of illicit material. He finds a technical report showing that this exact internet browsing history has already been hard-coded into the motherboard of his personal laptop back at his house. The organization's cyber division planted it yesterday while he was buying coffee. You do not report the news anymore, you say. You do not blink. You maintain absolute eye contact. Because tomorrow morning, the world will know you as a corrupt, treasonous pedophile. Your network will disavow you. Your wife will file for sole custody. Your daughter will legally change her last name to avoid the shame of being associated with you. The police will breach your front door at exactly 6 a.m. Unless you slide a blank piece of paper and a black ballpoint pen across the concrete floor with your shoe. You write a confession. You admit to the financial crimes. You apologize to your family. And you hang yourself from the rafters of this warehouse before sunrise. Alternatively, you hand over the encrypted hard drive containing your research, you get on a private cargo flight to Bogota in 2 hours, and you never speak your native language again. You watch the exact moment his soul fractures. The defiant light in his eyes snaps out, replaced by a dark, endless void of absolute despair. He begins to sob. It is a wet, pathetic sound. You stand up. You button your suit jacket. You walk out into the cool night air. You expect to feel a wave of guilt. You expect your conscience to scream. But there is nothing. You just feel mildly annoyed that the dust from the warehouse floor got on your shoes. Your innocence is dead. You just annihilated a human being's entire existence without shedding a single drop of blood. Level 4. The Invisible Hand. You bypass the line at the city's most exclusive 5-star restaurant. The maitre abandons a tech billionaire at the host stand, bowing slightly as he escorts you through the dining room and into the soundproof, sweeping VIP suite in the back. You no longer take orders from burner phones. You give the orders. You manage a territory spanning 3 major metropolitan cities. You control the underground logistics, the luxury casino syndicates, the union bosses, and the commercial shipping ports. You are the architect of the local reality. Sitting around the mahogany table are 3 men. The chief of police, a district court judge, a charismatic politician currently leading the polls for mayor. In the daylight, these are men of untouchable authority. Here, in the dim light of the chandelier, they sit in absolute silence, waiting for you to pick up your fork first. You do not engage in small talk. You slide 3 thick wax-sealed envelopes across the polished wood. Next month, Port Terminal 4 will receive 3 container shipments. They will bypass customs inspection entirely, you say, looking directly at the police chief. He nods, swallowing hard. He slips the envelope into his breast pocket. It contains $40,000 in untraceable bearer bonds. The antitrust lawsuit against our front company will be dismissed with prejudice before it reaches discovery, you say, shifting your gaze to the judge. The judge smiles a tight, nervous smile. He takes his envelope. There is no cash inside. It contains the deed to a $4 million ski lodge in Aspen, legally transferred to a trust in his niece's name. Finally, you look at the mayoral candidate. You will receive a sudden influx of $3 million in anonymous PAC donations next week. You will use it to crush your opponent. In exchange, the city's $2 billion infrastructure expansion contract will be awarded exclusively to our preferred construction syndicate. The politician nods eagerly. They all agree. They always agree. You cut into your Wagyu steak. The taste of power is intoxicating. You are the invisible hand choking the city. You are a kingmaker in the shadows. Anyone who crosses you, whether it is a rival gang leader or a righteous detective, will simply vanish. The system works for you. But as you exit the restaurant and step into the valet line, you notice a matte black SUV parked across the street. The engine is idling. The windows are tinted pitch black. You know who is inside. It is the organization's internal security. The ones above you. You have millions in the bank. You have the police on your payroll. But you are still just middle management. You realize the ultimate trap of the hierarchy. You have the freedom to buy anything in the world, but you will never have the freedom to walk away. Level 5. The Envoy of Judgment. You are cruising at 40,000 feet over the Atlantic Ocean in a heavily modified Gulfstream G650. There is no turbulence. There is no jurisdiction up here. No flags, no borders, no laws. Only the hum of the engines and the blinding white leather of the cabin. A crisis has erupted. An invisible hand, a level 4 operator based in a volatile Eastern European sector, has let his ego override his survival instincts. He skimmed 20% off a military-grade munition smuggling route. Worse, he used the money to hire a private militia. He thinks he has grown larger than the ecosystem. He thinks he can secede. You are not sent to negotiate. You are the immune system of the organization. You are sent to eradicate the infection. The jet touches down at a private, unmapped airstrip on the outskirts of a freezing industrial city. The rogue operator is waiting for you inside a cavernous aircraft hangar. He is flanked by 30 heavily armed mercenaries holding tactical rifles. He wears a smug, arrogant grin. He believes that physical force equals power. He thinks he is holding the cards. You walk down the airstrip stairs. You are completely alone. You are unarmed. You hold a single, ultra-thin encrypted tablet. You stop exactly 20 feet away from him. The wind howls through the open hangar doors. He steps forward. "You came all this way to die?" he sneers. You do not raise your voice. You do not change your expression. You tap the glass screen of your tablet 3 times. "I just initiated a hard freeze on all 18 of your offshore accounts," you state, your voice cutting through the wind like a scalpel. "Your assets are 0. I have also transmitted the exact GPS coordinates of this hangar to the Regional Anti-Terrorist Military Coalition. They will arrive via Black Hawk helicopters in exactly 8 minutes. They have shoot-to-kill orders." You shift your eyes away from the terrified operator and look directly at the 30 mercenaries aiming their rifles at your chest, every man holding a weapon. You project your voice so it echoes off the corrugated steel. If you drop your rifle right now and walk out the back door, $500,000 in clean cryptocurrency will be deposited into your anonymous ledgers in 10 seconds. The man who puts a bullet in your boss's head gets $3 million. The silence is absolute. It is the heaviest silence you have ever experienced. 2 seconds pass. Then, the deafening clatter of shifting tactical gear fills the hangar. Every single mercenary pivots. 30 laser sights snap onto the chest of the rogue operator. His smugness vaporizes. His face turns the color of ash. He raises his hands, opening his mouth to beg. You turn your back. You walk up the stairs of your jet. Before the cabin door even seals shut, the thunderous roar of automatic gunfire erupts from the hangar. You do not flinch. You do not look back. Human loyalty is a myth. Violence is no longer a physical act to you. It is simply the reallocation of financial resources. You are completely, terrifyingly hollow. Level 6. The Ghost. You do not exist. If a federal agency runs your fingerprints, the database returns a fatal syntax error. Your birth certificate was incinerated 20 years ago. The facial recognition algorithms utilized by global intelligence networks have been hard-coded to ignore your bone structure. You are a phantom. You sit in a subterranean, climate-controlled command center buried beneath the Swiss Alps. You are surrounded by a sweeping arc of curved glass monitors displaying real-time global data. You watch the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the fluctuations in crude oil pricing, satellite feeds of naval blockades, and the undercurrents of global search engine algorithms. You are a member of the High Council. You do not deal with street violence. You do not deal with local politicians. You deal in reality manipulation. You manage the truth. A multinational pharmaceutical conglomerate is preparing to announce a revolutionary gene therapy treatment. This treatment will render obsolete a global chain of privatized oncology centers secretly owned by the organization. The potential loss is estimated at $4 billion annually. You do not order the assassination of the CEO. That is barbaric. That is level 4 thinking. Instead, you type a sequence of commands into a secure terminal. You activate a dormant network of 300,000 artificial intelligence bots across every major social media platform. You seed a perfectly engineered, highly believable conspiracy theory linking the new gene therapy to severe neurological decay in pediatric test subjects. You leak falsified clinical trial documents to fringe media outlets. Simultaneously, you instruct the organization's shadow hedge funds to aggressively short-sell the pharmaceutical conglomerate's stock. You watch the monitors. It takes exactly 48 hours. The public panics. Politicians demand congressional hearings. The stock price plummets by 68% in a single afternoon trading session. The CEO is forced to resign in disgrace. The gene therapy project is shelved indefinitely. The organization nets a profit of $900 million from the short squeeze, while effortlessly erasing a catastrophic threat to its business model. You watch the green and red numbers cascade down the glass screens. You are a digital god. You can alter the destiny of entire nations, destroy billion-dollar empires, and reshape the public consciousness without ever leaving this chair. But when the screens go dark for a brief moment, you catch your own reflection in the black glass. You look into your own eyes. There is nothing there. No family, no friends, no history. You hold secrets that could collapse the global economy, but you have no one to speak to. You are a ghost, haunting a machine of your own design. Level 7. The Regime Broker. You stand on the cantilevered balcony of a $100 million penthouse in Dubai. The air is warm. The city below looks like a glittering circuit board, a playground for the rich that you could buy and sell before breakfast. Sitting on the velvet sofa in the expansive living room behind you is the leading presidential candidate of a developing South American nation. His country sits on the largest unmined lithium deposit on the planet. Lithium is the blood of the modern tech era. The organization requires a total monopoly on it. The candidate is sweating through his silk shirt. He is trailing in the national polls by 12 points. The election is in 5 days. He is desperate. You turn away from the skyline. You walk to the crystal decanter and pour 2 measures of a 50-year-old Macallan single malt. You hand him a glass. Tomorrow at noon, a massive explosion will level the central commercial district of your capital city, you state. You say it with the casual indifference of a man discussing the weather. An extremist rebel faction will publicly claim responsibility. Your opponent, who has spent his entire campaign preaching diplomatic negotiation and peace with these rebels, will be politically annihilated. By tomorrow evening, our media syndicates will flood the airwaves, portraying you as the only strongman capable of restoring order. His hand shakes violently. The amber liquid sloshes over the rim of the crystal glass and stains the white carpet. How many civilians will die in the blast? He whispers, his voice cracking. You look down at him. Your eyes are completely dead. You are an apex predator looking at livestock. Enough to ensure your inauguration, you reply smoothly. And once you are sworn in, you will sign a 70-year exclusive extraction lease for the lithium fields over to our front corporation. If you refuse this arrangement, the explosion will still happen, but the bomb will be under your motorcade. He stares at the floor. He takes a deep, shuddering breath, raises the glass to his lips, and drains it. He nods. You just bought a sovereign nation. You just authorized the slaughter of hundreds of innocent people to secure a supply chain margin. You feel absolutely no remorse. Morality is a fairy tale told to the working class to keep them docile. They think they have a voice. They think their votes matter. They do not realize the world is carved up and sold in quiet rooms by men like you, sealed with a toast of expensive scotch. Level 8, Ruler of the Void. You are the apex. You are the ceiling. There is no one left to give you orders. You are the system itself. You live entirely inside a subterranean fortress, bored deep into the bedrock of a classified mountain range. You are protected by the most advanced biometric security grid on Earth, guarded by a private army of ex-Special Forces operatives, encased in walls of lead-lined, nuclear-reinforced concrete. You possess absolute, terrifying power. Central banks adjust interest rates based on your quiet suggestions. Wars are ignited or extinguished strictly based on your logistical requirements. The history of human civilization is a script, and you hold the pen. But you have not slept more than 2 consecutive hours in 5 years. Every meal you consume is tested by a chemical spectrograph and a human food taster 30 minutes before it reaches your lips. The air you breathe is scrubbed by biological hazard filters. The pacemaker keeping your heart beating is heavily shielded and lacks any wireless connectivity, because you know exactly how easy it is for a level 6 operator to hack a Bluetooth signal and induce a fatal cardiac arrest. You trust absolutely no one. The ghosts and the regime brokers operating beneath you are monsters. You know this because you built them. You molded them. You know they are circling in the dark, calculating the exact geometry required to slit your throat and take the throne. Supreme power requires supreme paranoia. The cost of owning the world is eternal isolation. You realize the ultimate crushing truth of the hierarchy. You do not own the machine. The machine owns you. You are nothing but the supreme warden of a prison you can never leave. You have unlimited power, but you cannot walk through a public park and feel the sun on your face without anticipating the supersonic crack of a sniper rifle. You sit in your leather chair. The silence of the bunker rings in your ears. You look up at the massive wall of surveillance feeds monitoring the globe. Your eyes drift to a minor, insignificant camera feed. It shows a dark, rain-slicked alleyway in a decaying district halfway across the world. It is 2:13 a.m. local time. A young man, soaked in the rain, steps out of the shadows. He walks up to a black van. He holds a ringing matte black burner phone to his ear. You watch the exact moment he checks his digital wallet. Even through the grainy security footage, you can see his eyes widen. You can see the adrenaline hit his bloodstream. You can see the intoxicating, fatal illusion of power taking root in his mind. Somewhere, a new chosen one is just starting. He thinks he understands the game. He doesn't, but he will.